The workshop at Veth's Crossing's secondary transit hub had the specific, honest quality of the genuine working space. The particular character of somewhere that was built for the function rather than the presentation of the function. The specific, accumulated quality of 9 years of the technical work present in the space, with the full quality of the 9 years honest product. The tools and the positions the tools' use had determined over 9 years. The equipment organized with the methodical quality of someone who understood the organization's function, was the work's efficiency, and who had, in the understanding, given the organization the complete quality the efficiency required. The particular ambient quality of oil and metal, and the specific, honest smell of the working space that did the working. Tail Roven was 38 years old. He had the specific quality that 9 years of the independent mechanical systems technician's work had built in him. Not the decorated quality, not the institutional face of the significant technical function, not the person whose name appeared in the formal commendation records or the strategic planning documents. The particular methodical quality of someone who fixed the things that needed fixing with the honest attention the fixing required, and who was, in the fixing, present in the work with the full quality of the genuine engagement. The frontier's working quality, the specific, practical character of someone who had been in the operational margins for long enough that the operational margins were the natural space, and who was, in the natural space, doing the function required. He was under the secondary drive assembly of a Karath-class transport. The drive assembly had the specific, technical quality of the Karath-class transport's 4th-generation coupling interface, the particular, recurring failure pattern that the manufacturer's standard diagnostic did not account for, and that the 9 years at the workshop had built the specific, improvised assessment approach for. He had the diagnostic tool in the coupling interface's secondary access port with the complete quality of the experienced technician's practiced motion. He heard the workshop's entrance. He heard it with the particular, ambient quality of the experienced technician's peripheral attention, the specific, trained quality of someone who had been in the workshop long enough that the workshop sounds were the natural background, and who was, in the natural background, present in the foreground of the diagnostic with the full quality of the foreground's requirement. He said from under the drive assembly without looking up, "Be with you in a minute. If it's the hydraulic coupling on the Marin freighter, I told them it would be ready at the 14th hour, and it will be ready at the 14th hour." No response. He finished the diagnostic connection with the complete quality the connection required, the specific, careful quality of someone who understood that the connection's quality determined the diagnostic's quality, and who was, in the understanding, giving the connection the care it deserved. He rolled out from under the drive assembly. He looked up, a Varath woman. She was standing in the workshop's entrance with the specific, complete quality of someone who had arrived at the destination's significance required, and who was, in the arriving, present in the destination with the full quality of the significant arrival. Not the casual visitor's quality, not the transit hub's standard customer's practical quality of someone who needed a repair, and who was, in the needing, present in the workshop with the repair's practical requirement. The particular, deliberate quality of someone who had been building toward this specific point for a long time, and who was, in the arriving, present in the arriving with the full quality of the long time's accumulated purpose. He read her with the honest attention of someone who had been reading the unexpected visitor's quality for 9 years of the workshop's function, not the casual visitor. The particular, complete quality of someone for whom the significant institutional position was the natural state, rather than the performed state. The Varath sovereignty's senior quality present in the person with the full weight of the significant position's long duration. She was looking at him. She was looking at him with the full quality of the complete attention, not the casual assessment of a customer assessing the technician's competence, not the practical quality of someone who needed the technical function, and who was, in the needing, present in the need's practical assessment. The specific, complete quality of someone who had been looking for something for a long time, and who was, in the finding, present in the finding with the full quality of the finding's weight. She said, "Human, I have been looking for you for 16 years. He looked at her, he looked at the workshop. He looked at the diagnostic tool still in his hand. He said, "I think there may be a mistake." She looked at him. "Tail Roven," she said. "Independent mechanical systems technician. 9 years at Veth's Crossing's secondary transit hub. Before that, 4 years at the Keth Borders Frontier Maintenance Depot. Before that, 3 years at the Accord's Outer Sector Infrastructure Support Program. She paused. Before that, 16 years ago, the Veth Sector's Emergency Medical Station at the 3rd Transit Point. He was very still. The specific, genuine stillness of someone who had received information that the information's content made the genuine stillness the honest response. Not the performed quality. The particular, honest quality of the genuine response to the genuine information. 16 years ago, the Veth Sector's Emergency Medical Station. He looked at her. He said, "I don't know what you think I did." She said, "I know exactly what you did. That is why I have been looking for you for 16 years. She told him with the specific, complete quality of someone who had been carrying the account for 16 years, and who was, in the telling, giving the account the full quality of the 16 years' careful preservation. The particular, honest character of someone who had been present in the significant moment, and who had, in the being, given the significant moment the complete quality of the genuine memory across the 16 years. 16 years ago, she had been 22 years old, not in the position's quality, not in any institutional quality. The specific, honest character of someone who had been 22 years old and who had been, in the 22 years' quality, in the Veth Sector's frontier space for the reasons the 22 years and the frontier space produced. The Junior Intelligence Field Assessor's first posting. The particular, unglamorous quality of the entry-level function in the difficult geography. The specific, honest character of someone at the beginning of the significant function, who was, in the beginning, present in the beginning with the full quality of the entry-level's earnest application. The 3rd Transit Point's Emergency Medical Station. She had been there because the Veth Sector's frontier space had produced the specific, acute situation that the frontier space occasionally produced. The particular, compressed quality of the acute situation arriving in the space between the institutional framework's coverage and the acute situation's requirements. The emergency medical station was the frontier's honest answer to that gap. The specific, practical quality of somewhere that existed because the gap existed, and that was, in the existing, doing what the gap's existence required with the complete quality of the honest answer's limitations. She had been wounded, not the combat wound, the specific, honest quality of the frontier's operational complexity producing the wound in the way the frontier's operational complexity produced wounds. The transit point's equipment failure and the emergency response, and the particular physical consequence of the acute situation present in the left side with the specific, serious character of something that required the immediate medical function, and that was, in the requiring, present with the full quality of the serious requirement. The emergency medical station had the specific, limited quality of the frontier's honest answer to the gap. The equipment that the frontier's budget produced, and the personnel that the frontier's staffing produced, and the particular, honest quality of somewhere doing the best the somewhere could do with what the somewhere had. The somewhere's best was not adequate for the wound's requirements. She had known this. She had been 22 years old and a junior intelligence field assessor on the first posting, and she had known, with the particular, clear quality of someone reading the honest situation with the honest attention, that the emergency medical station's best was not adequate for the wound's requirements, and that the not adequate's consequence was the specific, honest consequence of the inadequacy. He had been at the transit point, not at the emergency medical station, at the transit point's maintenance section, the specific, practical quality of a 19-year-old 3 months into the Accord's Outer Sector Infrastructure Support Program doing the maintenance function, with the methodical quality of the new position's earnest application. The particular, honest quality of someone who was at the beginning of the technical work, and who was, in the beginning, present in the work with the full quality of the earnest application. He had heard the emergency medical station's situation, not the official communication, the particular ambient quality of the frontier's small space, producing the specific, informal communication that the small space produced when the acute situation arrived. The emergency medical station's personnel talking with the urgent quality of people who were in the acute situation, and who were, in the being, present in the acute situation with the full quality of the genuine urgency. He had heard the urgent quality. He had gone. Not the heroic going, the specific, natural quality of someone who had heard the urgent quality, and who was, in the hearing, present in the urgent quality with the particular, honest character of someone for whom the hearing and the going were the same quality. because the going was the natural response to the hearing, and the natural response was the function's requirement. He had gone to the emergency medical station. He had looked at the wound with the 3 months technical quality and the natural aptitude produced. He had looked at the equipment. He had gone back to the maintenance section. He had come back with the maintenance section's technical resources, the specific, practical quality of the honest assessment of the available resources, producing the finding that the maintenance section's technical components contained the specific resources that the emergency medical station's equipment gap could be bridged with in the particular, improvised quality of the frontier's honest answer applied to the acute situation's specific requirements. Not the medical equipment, the technical components that the medical equipment's gap could be bridged with. The specific, improvised quality of someone who understood both the technical function and the gap's character, and who was, in the understanding, doing the bridging with the complete quality the bridging required. He had spent 4 hours. 4 hours of the specific, methodical quality of a 19-year-old 3 months into the support program, applying the technical knowledge the 3 months had built. And the natural aptitude produced to the problem was the complete quality of someone who was simply doing the function required with the resources available, and the honest attention the function deserved. The improvised solution had worked. The wound had received the function the wound required. She had survived. He had filed the maintenance section's equipment log with the honest notation of the components used and the improvised approach applied, and had returned to the maintenance function, and had been reassigned at the end of the month to the next posting in the support program's rotation. She had been evacuated to the appropriate medical facility. She had recovered. In the recovery, she had asked who had performed the improvised solution. The emergency medical station's personnel had told her. The maintenance technician from the Transit Point support program. She had found the name, Tail Roven. She had looked for him with the resources the 22 years and the junior posting produced, which was to say, the specific, limited resources of the entry-level function in the frontier space with the full quality of the entry-level's limitations, not the senior directorship's resources, not the significant position's capability. The junior posting's honest, limited resources applied to the search with the complete quality of the junior posting's limitations. The support program's rotation had moved him. She had not found him, but she had not stopped. The years had built the position with the specific, accumulated quality of someone who had been in the significant function for 16 years, and who had, in the 16 years, built the particular, complete quality of the institutional position that the 16 years of the significant function produced. The junior intelligence field assessor had become the senior assessor, and the senior assessor had become the section director, and the section director had become the divisional director, and the divisional director had become the Varath Sovereignty's intelligence function's primary leadership. The resources had grown with the position. The search had continued with the resources' growth. 16 years. She had found him 9 months ago. Veth's Crossing's secondary transit hub, the independent mechanical systems technician's workshop. 9 months of the preparation. The specific, deliberate quality of someone who had found the destination and who was, in the finding, giving the arrival the complete quality the significant arrival required. Not the immediate going, the 9 months preparation. The particular, deliberate quality of someone for whom the arrival required the complete quality of the significant arrival's preparation. He listened to the account with the complete quality of the full attention. He was very still. He said, "You have been looking for me for 16 years. Yes, she said. Because of the 4 hours at the emergency medical station, he said. Yes, she said. The improvised solution, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at the workshop. I was 19 years old, he said, 3 months into the support program. The maintenance section's equipment log has the component notation. Yes, she said. I have read the equipment log. He looked at her. You read the equipment log, he said. Multiple times, she said. The specific, technical quality of the improvised solution is documented in the equipment log with the complete quality of the honest notation. He set the diagnostic tool down on the workbench. The function required the doing, he said. The equipment gap was the problem. The maintenance section's resources were the available resources. The doing was the function. She looked at him. Yes, she said. I know that is how you understand it. It is the accurate understanding, he said. It is the accurate understanding of the function, she said. It is not the accurate understanding of what the function produced. He looked at her. What did the function produce? He said. She looked at him with the full quality of someone who had been carrying the answer to that question for 16 years, and who was, in the being asked, present in the question with the full quality of the 16 years' wait. Everything, she said. He sat down, not the performed sitting. The specific, honest quality of someone who had received the significant information, and who was, in the receiving, present in the significant information with the full quality of someone for whom the sitting was the genuine response to the genuine wait. She sat across from him, the workshop around them with the honest, working quality of the 9 years' accumulated presence. He looked at her. Everything, he said. Yes, she said. Tell me the complete version, he said. She looked at the workshop. She told him the complete version. The recovery had been the immediate everything. The specific, physical quality of the wound's consequence absent, because the improvised solution had addressed the wound's requirements with the complete quality the requirements demanded. Not the limited outcome of the inadequate treatment, the adequate outcome of the improvised solution's functional quality applied with the complete quality it deserved. She had recovered. The recovery had produced the continuation. The 22-years-old's junior posting continued. The subsequent postings, the section director, the divisional director, the primary leadership. The 16 years of the significant function built on the foundation of the recovery that the improvised solution had produced. She had made a specific accounting, not the informal accounting, the particular, deliberate quality of someone who had been in the intelligence function for 16 years, and who had, in the 16 years, built the precise analytical capability of someone who understood the causal chain with the full quality of the professional assessment. The specific, complete accounting of what the recovery had produced, the operations conducted and the intelligence gathered, and the significant outcomes the intelligence function's 16 years had produced. 7 operations that had required the senior directorship's specific, complete quality. 7 operations that had produced the outcomes the operation's honest assessment determined were significant. 3 of the 7 operations' outcomes had the particular, complete quality of outcomes that had prevented the specific, significant harm the harm's honest assessment described as the significant harm. She described the 3. He listened. He listened with the full quality of the complete attention. The 3, he was very quiet when the description concluded. The 4 hours at the emergency medical station, he said. Yes, she said. The causal chain from the 4 hours to the 3 outcomes is direct. The recovery produced the continuation. The continuation produced the directorship. The directorship produced the capability. The capability produced the 3 outcomes. He looked at the workshop. You have been carrying this accounting for 16 years, he said. Yes, she said. The specific, complete accounting, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at her. And the 16-year search, he said. For a 19-year-old who used the maintenance sections, components to bridge the equipment gap. For the person who heard the urgent quality and went, she said. Yes. He looked at her. I did not know, he said, any of it. The junior intelligence field assessor. The recovery, the continuation, the directorship, the 3 outcomes. He looked at the workshop. I was reassigned at the end of the month. Yes, she said, I know. You found the support program's rotation records, he said. Yes, she said. 9 months ago, he said. Yes, she said. And the 9 months, he said. She looked at him. The 9 months was the preparation, she said. The specific, deliberate quality of arriving with the complete quality the arrival required. He looked at her. You prepared for 9 months to walk into my workshop, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at the workshop. The diagnostic tool on the workbench and the Karath class transport and the drive assembly, and the 9 years of the honest working space, and the particular, unglamorous quality of the independent technician's workshop at the secondary transit hub. The workshop, he said. Yes, she said. 9 months of preparation for the workshop at the secondary transit hub, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at her. Why the preparation, he said. The honest answer. She looked at the workshop. Because the arrival required the complete quality, she said. The 16 years required the arrival to have the complete quality of the 16 years' wait. She looked at him. The workshop is the workshop. The secondary transit hub is the secondary transit hub. The 9 months' preparation was the preparation for the person, not the place. He looked at her. The person, he said. Yes, she said. The person who heard the urgent quality and went. The person who spent 4 hours with the maintenance section's components and the equipment gap and the improvised solution. The person who filed the honest notation in the equipment log and returned to the maintenance function. She looked at him, that person. He was quiet. The repayment, he said. You came to repay the 4 hours. She looked at him. No, she said. He looked at her. No, she said again. The repayment implies the transaction. The transaction implies the equivalence. The 4 hours and the 16 years and the 3 outcomes and the specific, complete quality of what the function produced across the causal chain. There is no equivalence. There is no transaction. The repayment is not the accurate word. What is the accurate word? He said. She looked at him. The acknowledgement, she said. The specific, complete quality of the acknowledgement given to the function and the person who performed the function with the quality the function deserved. She paused, and the honest space. He looked at her. The honest space, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at the workshop. Tell me what you mean, he said. The complete version. She looked at the workshop with the specific, complete quality of someone who was in the genuine space of the significant thing, and who was, in the being, giving the significant thing the honest expression it deserved. The 16 years, she said, have produced the specific, accumulated quality of someone who has been in the significant function for 16 years, and who has, in the 16 years, been present in the significant function with the full quality of the complete context. The intelligence directorship, the significant operations, the institutional weight of the position. Yes, he said, and in 16 years of the significant function, she said, the search has been the consistent presence, the specific, particular quality of something that has been present in the 16 years with the full quality of the consistent presence. Not the institutional presence, the honest presence. The search for the 19-year-old who used the maintenance section's components and spent 4 hours and returned to the maintenance function. He looked at her. The honest presence, he said. Yes, she said. The two things simultaneously, the significant function and the search, both present, both real. He was quiet, and the search is concluded, he said. Yes, she said. The search is concluded. He looked at the workshop. And the honest space, he said. She looked at him. The honest space, she said, is the specific, particular quality of the space after the conclusion. The search concluded and the acknowledgement given and the honest space present. She looked at the workshop. The workshop, the secondary transit hub, the independent technician's 9 years. She looked at him. And the 16-year search concluded in the same space. He looked at her. He looked at the workshop. He looked at the Karath-class transport and the drive assembly and the diagnostic tool on the workbench and the 9 years of the honest working space. Vara, he said. Her name, she had told him at the account's beginning, the name given before the 16 years account because the name was the person's name, and the person's name belonged before the institutional designation. He said it in the Accord's personal register, not the Varath Sovereignty's intelligence directorship's formal designation, not the institutional position's address. The name in the register of the honest space. She looked at him. Tail, she said. His name in the Varath personal register, not the independent technician's designation, not the equipment log's notation. The name in the register of the honest space. He looked at her. The 4 hours, he said. Yes, she said. And the 16 years, he said. Yes, she said. The causal chain, he said. Yes, she said. And the honest space, he said. Yes, she said. The honest space present in the workshop. He was quiet for a long moment. He looked at the Karath-class transport. The drive assembly diagnostic, he said. I told them it would be ready at the 14th hour. Yes, she said. The 14th hour is in 3 hours, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at the drive assembly. He looked at her. The Karath-class transport's secondary drive assembly, he said, has a specific recurring failure pattern in the 4th-generation coupling interface that the manufacturer's standard diagnostic does not account for. She looked at the drive assembly. Yes, she said. She looked at it with the full quality of the genuine attention. The 4th-generation coupling interface's diagnostic gap. The intelligence functions field vehicles. The Karath class is the standard field configuration. The 4th-generation coupling interface's failure pattern is a known operational concern. He looked at her. You know the Karath-class transport's drive assembly, he said. The field vehicles, she said. 16 years of the field operations. The Karath class's failure pattern has produced the specific operational consequence in the field context that the known concern describes. He looked at the drive assembly. The diagnostic gap, he said. I developed the improvised assessment approach in the second year at the workshop. The equipment gap was the problem. The available resources were the available resources. The doing was the function. She looked at him. Yes, she said. The doing was the function. He picked up the diagnostic tool. He looked at it. He looked at her. The diagnostic will take 3 hours, he said. You are welcome to watch. She looked at the drive assembly. She looked at him. Show me the improvised approach, she said. The specific technical quality of the gap's bridging. He looked at the diagnostic tool. He looked at her with the full quality of the honest attention. The fourth-generation coupling interface, he said, has a secondary access port that the standard diagnostic does not use. The secondary access port's position gives the direct reading of the coupling's internal stress distribution that the standard approach's indirect reading does not produce. She looked at the secondary access port. The direct reading, she said. Yes, he said. The direct reading produces the honest assessment of the failure's actual character rather than the standard approach's approximation. She looked at him. The honest assessment of the actual character, she said. Yes, he said, rather than the approximation. She looked at him. Yes, she said, show me. He looked at the drive assembly. He looked at her. He rolled back under the drive assembly with the diagnostic tool and the secondary access port and the honest assessment approach he had built in the second year at the workshop. She moved to where she could see. She watched. She watched with the full quality of the complete attention. The specific, genuine quality of someone who was watching the function with the honest interest of the genuine engagement, rather than the performed interest of the polite acknowledgement. Outside the workshop, the secondary transit hub continued its function with the patient, operational quality of the Frontier's honest infrastructure, doing what the Frontier's honest infrastructure was built to do. The transports and the maintenance schedules, and the particular, unglamorous quality of the Frontier's working life, present in the space with the full quality of the genuine function. Inside the workshop, the independent mechanical systems technician and the Varath Sovereignty's intelligence directorship were in the specific, genuine quality of the honest space. The space that the 19 years old and the 4 hours and the equipment gap and the improvised solution and the equipment log's honest notation, and the recovery and the continuation and the 16-year search and the 9 months preparation and the workshop's entrance, and the name said in the honest space's register, and the drive assembly diagnostic, and the 3 hours beginning had built. Not the significant functions institutional space, not the intelligence directorship's formal quality, not the 16 years wait alone, the honest space, where the equipment gap was the problem and the available resources were the available resources and the doing was the function, where the diagnostic took 3 hours and the watching was the genuine interest, and the direct reading produced the honest assessment of the actual character, where the name was said in the register of the genuine thing, which was, as the 19 years old and the 4 hours and the equipment gap and the improvised solution, and the 16 years and the search, and the finding and the workshop and the honest space had always been building toward, exactly where the function led when it was done with the quality it deserved and the sufficient reason it required. The search concluded, the honest space present, the 3 hours beginning together.